One afternoon, a young woman decides to go for a walk in the woods in an area she's not familiar with. As she's walking, she notices something on the ground that stops her in her tracks. Little did she know that this was the start of something incredibly creepy.
It's creepy as out here, I'm not gonna lie. Hold on. Why is there a camera in the woods? Oh, is that covered in blood? You're not gonna believe this. I just found a camera out here with something that looks like it could be blood on it. I have no idea, but I think there's still some battery on it, so there could be some footage on here.
The woman comes across an old video camera lying abandoned on the forest floor. She uses a nearby stick to pick it up, but then she throws it back down when she realizes there's something red on it. Then it occurs to her that there might still be footage on it. Curiosity gets the better of her, and when she checks the camera, she finds a single video file. The footage shows someone recording in the woods, exactly where the woman is standing. At first, the footage looks normal, but then something like a shadow disappears behind a tree. Creeped out, the woman creates a social media account to upload the footage. She hopes to get some advice from viewers online, but then the account goes quiet. Months go by without any further updates, until one night, the woman suddenly uploads this clip.
It's been months. It's been months and I haven't been able to tell anyone. I haven't been able to post anything since I found those videos. Weird things have been happening to me and I don't know what's going on. I'm so scared. I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
The woman tearfully explains that ever since she found the camera and watched the footage, quote, weird things have been happening, but then the video takes a concerning turn. The woman suddenly freezes, as if she heard something. The video ends abruptly, and the account goes quiet for several more days. Eventually, the woman posts another update.
I keep having nightmares since I saw the first video. I close my eyes and I still see that shadow. And it haunts me. And just when I think I can get away and I open my eyes, it's there in my bedroom, right in front of me on my bed. Please help me.
The woman is in tears again. She explains that she's been having nightmares about the shadow on the video camera footage. It's making her feel like she's going crazy. She even begs her viewers for help, but her ordeal is about to get much worse.
It's the middle of the night and I just got woke up again. It's coming for me. It's in my house. The noises are coming from the kitchen. Listen. That's the noise that wakes me up every night. It gets me. It wakes me up in my dreams. It wakes me up from my sleep. You see that? There's a shadow in the corner of the kitchen. I know I'm not seeing things. I know I'm not. I know you guys saw that.
By this point, viewers were hooked. Many theorized that the shadow entity from the woods followed her home, and over the next few days, the creepy activity grows more intense.
What is that? What is that in the corner? Do you guys hear that noise? It's been like this all night. I can't make it stop. And when I get up and check the door. There's no one there. Oh my God, I'm fucking terrified. Go away. Go away. I don't make it stop. I don't want to make them go away.
Viewers warn her that many paranormal entities feed off fear, and the more terrified she becomes, the more powerful it grows. Then, in her latest updates, things have taken an even darker turn.
Ever since I started making these videos, the entity, it's been changing, been morphing into different things, scaring me in different ways. At first I thought it was all in my head, but it's changed into shadows, into different people, into voices, and it's just completely taking over my life. Like, I see no way out of this at all. I don't know what to do anymore. It's back again. It's back again tonight. Who is it? What do you want?
She claims the shadow entity has started changing its shape, taking the form of different people, and even speaking to her in different voices. The knocking also returns, and this time, when she calls out to it, the door slowly creaks open. But when she checks, there's nothing there. In the woman's most recent update, things get even creepier.
I was just walking out of my apartment, and look. You see that? You see that shadow? It's following me.
Hovering above the vehicle, something can be seen. Viewers were spooked by these clips uploaded to TikTok, with many wondering just what the f*** is going on. Did the young woman unleash something when she found that video camera in the woods? And if so, what happened to the person who was recording that original footage? For now, all we can do is wait for her next update. Diaz Buezo lives in an apartment complex in Guatemala. It's usually a great place to live, but recently he's been noticing something disturbing, an unusually large number of flies. They even start getting into his apartment, and although he does his best to get rid of them, they keep coming back. One day, as he's coming home from work, he sees that his neighbor's apartment windows are all covered in flies. Concerned, Diaz calls the authorities. When they arrive, they confirm what he feared. His neighbor passed away. Diaz was shaken by this, but that's not the end of it. Not long after the neighbor's body was taken away, strange things started happening around the apartment complex.
Dios mío.
The neighbor who lives upstairs is usually quiet, so Diaz goes to check on him. The man is still screaming, and when Diaz asks what's wrong, the neighbor tells him he's being tormented by spirits. Diaz manages to calm him down, but then, later that night, the screaming continues, and Diaz goes to check on his neighbor again.
Dios santo. Oh my God. Vecino. You okay? No. 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 Dios te bendiga. No. ¿Necesitas ayuda? ¿Necesitas ayuda? Dios te bendiga. Vengo en el nombre de Jesús. En el nombre de Jesús.
A few nights later, Diaz gets up to use the bathroom. As he walks past his window, he glances at the neighbor's building and sees this.
Dios, quiero que observen eso que está arriba del apartamento de donde está el vecino. Ok, quiero que vean el apartamento ese, es donde duerme el vecino. Ahí es donde él vive arriba. Miren esa cosa que está en la ventana. Vean esa cosa que está en la ventana arriba y cómo desaparece cuando yo voy acercando la cámara. Miren, que alguien me explique qué rayos es eso. Como que si supiera que yo lo estoy grabando. Pero no es una cosa normal, no es una persona. Es algo, gente. Miren, miren. Es algo que está ahí. Miren cómo se quita. ¿Ustedes creen que eso es normal?
Diaz is seriously creeped out because that apartment is supposed to be empty. No one has lived there since the neighbor passed away, and soon, strange things start happening around Diaz's own apartment too.
Y pues la verdad a mí me toman de loco, pero si ustedes tuvieran que soportar que ver esas cosas, miren esa cosa parada en mi... Sangre de Cristo te reprenda, demonio infernal.
Diaz thinks he sees something watching him through a gap in his curtains, but when he opens them, there's nothing there. Then, in the middle of the night, something happens that terrifies him even more.
Gente, son las 2 de la mañana, me intentaron abrir la puerta, bueno, la tocaron primero y la intentaron como abrir. Luego pues yo me fui al cuarto de las niñas. A ver, ahí está otra vez. Vean, pero vean que no es nadie. Son las 2 de la mañana. Exactamente. Vean. No es nadie.
His viewers had warned him that if it's a paranormal entity, opening the door might accidentally let it inside. So now, Diaz is left wondering, is the ghost of his neighbour haunting the apartment complex? Or is there something else, something darker that's been there all along? What do you think is going on here? Trina Ward is a writer based in Florida who specialises in mythology and folklore. One day, she's out walking through her neighbourhood when she passes an old abandoned house. The house used to belong to the Martin family, but it's been empty for years, ever since a terrible tragedy occurred there. Locals say the entire family passed away in the house under disturbing circumstances. And ever since, neighbours have reported strange occurrences, including hearing what sounds like crying coming from the property and seeing figures through the windows. As Trina walks past, something about the house catches her eye.
This is the Martin house. Haunted, Panama City, Florida, my first book. And I'm just driving by randomly. Look in the window. Please, somebody tell me you see what I'm seeing. A child. He supposedly, maybe, we're not sure. Stories have changed over the years. Man went crazy and killed his entire family after finding out his wife was cheating with the servant. Servant on a tree that used to be in the front yard that the hurricane took out. But the stories are that the children can be seen. I see a kid.
In the second floor window, there appears to be a figure. Trina says it looks like a child, but the house is supposed to be completely empty. Trina is convinced she's captured one of the Martin children, still lingering in the place where the tragedy happened. But what do you think? Did Trina capture a ghost on camera? Let me know. It's late at night, and a young woman is riding on the back of her boyfriend's motorcycle through the dark streets of Milagro in Ecuador. Her friends are on another motorcycle up ahead, and to capture the moment, the woman starts recording. She points her phone camera at her friends as they speed along the quiet road. It should have been a fun video to remember an enjoyable evening, but when the woman watches the footage the next morning, she spots something that sends a chill down her spine. As she records, the wing mirror of the motorcycle comes into view, and in the reflection, something can be seen. It looks like someone sitting on the back of the bike right behind her. But the young woman knows that's impossible. It was just her and her boyfriend on the motorcycle that night, no one else. She watches the video again and again, but she's left with more questions than answers. After sharing the footage to her social media, many viewers commented that the woman might have captured a ghost on camera. But what do you think this is? A ghost or something else? Back in 2022, on Christmas Eve, Bailey Page was visiting her childhood home to spend the holidays with her family. The house is filled with warm memories for Bailey, a place where she's always felt safe and comfortable. But late that night, long after everyone else has gone to bed, Bailey's father encounters something unsettling. He is sitting alone in the living room and suddenly decides to take a photo of the tree with his phone. Shortly after, he heads upstairs to bed. Weeks pass, and the photo sits forgotten on his phone until Bailey's stepmother is scrolling through his pictures one day and notices something creepy.
So this was the image that my dad had taken. Prepare yourself for a jump scare, but this is nobody that I know.
Not far from the Christmas tree, something can be seen. Bailey's father says he was the only person downstairs that night. So, who or what is this? The family has no explanation, but things get a lot creepier when Bailey's stepmother reveals something about the figure.
This is nobody that we know from our past. It's neither of my grandpas, but I will say that my stepmom said that the figure does resemble the man that she had seen standing behind my dad.
She claims that one night, a few months before Christmas, she thought she saw a tall man standing behind Bailey's father, but when she blinked, the figure was gone. She assumed she was just seeing things and forgot all about it. But then, she saw the photo Bailey's father captured on Christmas Eve and immediately recognized the silhouette of the dark figure. Creeped out, Bailey and her family started to think the house was haunted and even sent the photo to a few paranormal experts. And one medium who saw the photo reportedly felt strong negative energy coming from it. But Bailey and her family still have no idea just what exactly this figure is. Was it just a shadow? A trick of the light? Or did Bailey's father really encounter a ghost that night? A young woman has been hearing strange noises in her house at night. The sounds are so unsettling, but every time she gets up to investigate, she never finds anything that could explain them. This has been going on for weeks. Then one night, the noises start again, but this time, they seem to be coming from outside. She grabs her phone, turns on the camera, and decides to check what's out there. The woman cautiously approaches her open garage door. Then the face of someone or something can be seen peeking out behind a tree right outside her property. But who or what is it? The woman sees it and immediately flees back inside without a second thought. After seeing this face right outside her garage door, she was spooked. She believes whatever this is something paranormal. But what do you think? Oh, and where the f*** is its body? Luna Amatores is a small shop in Carlisle, a town in the north of England. The shop sells jewellery and various crystals. It's supposed to be a calming place, somewhere people come to find peace and positive energy, but the owner has been experiencing things that suggest something else is lurking inside. According to her, she's seen objects moving on their own, heard unexplained noises when the shop is empty, and felt the overwhelming sense of being watched. This strange activity is especially strong when she's alone in the cellar. Not knowing what to do, she reached out to Paranormal Investigations Crew UK, hoping they could help her understand what's happening. The team arrived one evening after the shop closed to conduct a full investigation. They go down to the cellar, and that's when things take a disturbing turn.
Okay, so down here I'm picking up on a young girl in this, well, a young lady I'm going to say in this corner. I feel she's maybe about 12, 13-year-old. She gives me really bad nausea, because often I do pick up physically how they pass, and I just feel really nauseous with her, and I feel, when I was sat down here earlier, I just got pains everywhere.
During the investigation, one of the investigators suddenly jerks back, her hand immediately going to her hair. She looks around, trying to see what just touched her, but there's nothing there. The moment happens so quickly that it's easy to miss, but later, when the team reviews the footage and slows it down, they see it clearly. Her hair moves as if something invisible brushed past her, not from a draft. Viewers think it seems more like something reached out and touched her. And for the shop owner, this is the proof she needs that her property really is haunted. A Reddit user living alone in Arizona has shared 2 photographs that have left viewers deeply unsettled. One night, he's awake late, unable to sleep, so he's watching TV in his living room. But then, he hears something that makes him freeze. The sound of floorboards creaking in the hallway. At first, he thinks it might be his cat wandering around, but the sound is too heavy to be a cat. He gets up to check. Looking down the dark hallway, there's nothing there. He returns to the living room, but something feels different now. He can't shake the feeling that he's not alone. For a while now, he suspected his home might be haunted, and heard that ghosts sometimes show up on camera, even when they're invisible to the naked eye. So he decides to test it, raising his phone and taking a photo of the hallway. At first, the photo looks normal, but after looking closely, the OP notices that at the edge of the door frame, something's there. When the image is brightened, it becomes clearer. What appears to be a face with sunken black eyes and a gaping mouth stares back at him from the darkness. The OP doesn't sleep that night. too unnerved to move from the living room. When morning comes, he takes another photo of the exact same spot, this time in daylight. Unlike the previous photo, there's no sign of anything or that strange face. Nothing in the hallway could explain what appeared in the first photo. So, whatever was watching him that night, it only appeared in the darkness. The question is, what was it? Let me know what you think down below. RWB Auctions is an antiques auction house based in Wiltshire, England. The staff have been running the business for years, dealing with vintage furniture, old paintings, and collectibles from decades past. But over time, they've noticed strange things happening in the storeroom. Objects moving on their own, unexplained sounds after everyone has gone home, and recently, their security camera captured something that left them genuinely creeped out. It's 2 AM, long after the staff have locked up and gone home. The storeroom is completely empty, but then a vintage baby pram from the 1950s starts moving, all on its own. It slowly rolls across the floor, heading toward the door. The owner is shocked when he reviews the footage the next morning. He immediately goes to check the storeroom and finds something even stranger.
So it finished roughly here at about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 meters. And the most perplexing thing for me is that it was left in this position.
It's heavy, isn't it?
It's a vintage, it's a Silver Cross coach-built pram. Heavy, wow, yeah. Not easy to manoeuvre.
Because somebody, I did read a couple of the comments and somebody had put on their old fishing wire and I brought some to try it, but there's no way you could move that with fishing wire.
The pram is back in its original position, right where it was when the staff locked up that night, before the camera caught it moving. The owner explains that the pram is heavy and not easy to move. So, what moved the vintage pram across the room in the middle of the night? And more importantly, what put it back? Could something from the past be attached to one of the antiques in the store? Maybe to the pram? Let me know in the comments. A young woman named Tessa has a younger sister who, back in 2017, was obsessed with her American Girl doll. She loved that doll more than anything. She took it everywhere, dressed it up, and even slept with it. The sister even used to wish that one day the doll would somehow come to life, so they could be real friends. One afternoon, Tessa's sister is recording a video of herself giving the doll a makeover, but as she's recording, something happens that changes everything.
Right now, but yeah, I didn't go in with any eyeshadow because I didn't want... Do you guys see that?
The doll suddenly turns its head, looking directly at Tessa's sister. The girl freezes, completely shocked by what just happened. She had always hoped the doll would come to life, but now that something unexplainable had actually occurred, she started to feel afraid of the doll. The toy that once brought her so much joy now gave her nightmares. When Tessa shared the footage years later, viewers flooded the comments. Many said they'd experienced similar things with their own dolls whose eyes seemed to follow them around the room and whose positions changed when no one was looking. Some even claimed their dolls moved on their own. So, what do you think happened in that video? Did Tessa's sister get exactly what she wished for? Or is there a more logical explanation for this? A Reddit user named Pluto Seeker recently shared footage to the R Paranormal Encounters subreddit that has left Redditors and viewers debating what they're seeing. According to Pluto Seeker, she and her partner moved into their home 2 years ago. Soon after they settled in, they both started noticing something disturbing, a dark shadow. They've both seen it, always out of the corner of their eye, always disappearing the moment they turn to look. Determined to prove they're not imagining things, they set up cameras around the house, hoping to finally catch whatever is lurking in their home. At 4:30 AM, one of the cameras captures this. A black shadow crosses in front of the camera, then vanishes. Pluto Seeker explains that all the windows in the workshop are covered by curtains, so it can't be a shadow from something outside. So, what could it be? Some viewers suggest it might be dust caught in the infrared light of the camera. Others think it could be a camera glitch. But Pluto Seeker and her partner aren't convinced. They've both seen this shadow with their own eyes, long before they set up the cameras. Maybe it's nothing, just a series of coincidences and tricks of the light. Or maybe their home really is haunted. Penstock 8 is an Indonesian delivery driver who works for a popular Asian food delivery company. To entertain his followers, he records himself while working, often capturing some strange customers and unusual situations on camera. He's used to dealing with all sorts of people, some friendly, some not so much. But one night, while heading to a remote location to deliver an order, he has an encounter that leaves him genuinely shaken. As he's riding down a narrow road, his headlight catches something up ahead. A figure in white appears in the road ahead of him and just stands there. Without a second thought, Penstock turns around and gets out of there. At the time, Penstock didn't get a proper look at whatever or whoever it was that appeared in the road. He just didn't want to take any chances. However, once he watched the footage back, he realised he encountered her, the woman in white. This left him creeped out, but he's grateful he trusted his instincts and turned around when he did. On Maman New is a YouTube channel run by an Indonesian adventure creator called Maman. He explores abandoned places and shares what he finds for his followers, and we've featured him in the past. In March 2025, he decided to investigate an abandoned house deep in the forest. According to local legend, this house is extremely haunted. Years ago, a terrible tragedy occurred there. A young woman passed away suddenly, and locals say her ghost still wanders the halls, unable to move on. Maman has heard the stories and wants to see if he can catch the ghost on camera. He ventures inside, exploring room after room, but he doesn't find anything unusual. He starts to think the legends are just exaggerated stories. Tired from exploring, he sits down to rest, and that's when his camera captures something he didn't see. What looks like a ghostly woman in a long white dress appears in the doorway to his right. She walks past slowly, and it's too dark for my man to see her, but he hears something, so he grabs his camera and goes to check it out.
Suara di mana? Tadi ada suara perempuan.
The hallway is empty. My man stands in the darkness, wondering if his camera caught what he couldn't see. When he reviews the footage later, he was floored. He sees that the camera caught the ghost of the woman who is said to haunt this old building. And the question is why? After all these years, does she still refuse to leave? Let me know why you think this is down below. Aditya was attending a funeral in Indonesia. It was a difficult day. Saying goodbye to someone who had passed away to help preserve the memory, Aditya decided to record the procession, but she never imagined she'd capture something that would leave viewers questioning what they saw. As the coffin is carried on the shoulders of the pallbearers, something strange happens. The lid seems to shift open slightly, and what looks like a hand can be seen reaching out from inside. Aditya immediately alerts the pallbearers. They stop and carefully check the coffin, but when they inspect it, there's nothing unusual. The lid is secure and everything appears normal. So what did Aditya's camera capture? Some viewers think that it was the person's spirit leaving their body, but what's your verdict? This final clip shows a young man casually playing with a football, showing off his skills while another person films him. At first, the video seems completely normal, just friends hanging out. But if you watch closely, something disturbing appears for just a brief moment. Watch closely. Did you catch it? Look again. As the young man kicks the ball, the camera briefly pans towards a nearby bridge, and then something appears. Something that looks like a ghostly woman. She appears for only a second, but when the camera pans back to the same area moments later, she's gone. There's no sign of her walking away, no place she could have stepped behind. Viewers immediately began speculating about what the camera had captured. They pointed out how unnaturally still the figure looked and how quickly it disappeared. Whether this footage captured a genuine paranormal apparition is hard to say, but what do you think this is? Let me know. Black Hills Paranormal Investigations is a ghost hunting team based in South Dakota. The team usually conducts investigations of creepy, abandoned buildings and haunted places. They recently uploaded a clip to their social media that was sent to them by someone who claims they caught a ghost on camera. The sender explains that they woke up one morning to find a notification on their phone. It was from their home security camera telling them that a person was spotted in the kitchen at 4 a.m. Here's that footage. A mysterious reflection appears on the surface of the refrigerator, followed by a loud bang as if a door has just slammed shut. But then, something white can be seen. The homeowner was completely spooked by this, and at the time, everyone in the house was asleep when this happened. No one has any explanation for who or what this is. The security footage has left them questioning whether they're truly alone in their home at night, or if something else has been wandering around their house while they sleep. The final video was uploaded to YouTube back in 2008. The quality is rather potatoey. What was supposedly caught on cameras has kept viewers debating for years. According to the uploader, he was home alone one evening, watching TV in his living room. He'd recently bought a new phone with a camera and was testing it out, just casually recording around his house. But as he's recording, something appears that shouldn't be there.
That door? Charlie, I swear to there was somebody standing there 2 seconds ago. I'm serious. Yeah.
As the camera moves, something dark can be seen standing in the room. But when the camera pans back to get a better look, whatever it was has gone. The title of this video is A Ghost Captured on a Camera Phone. But is it? Thanks so much for watching. If you're up for more scary videos, check out one of these next. You're gonna love them. Oh, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.